All right. Okay, so welcome. We're going to just kind of move right along this evening. It looks like we've got a pretty long agenda. We have a lot of other business to do besides, I think, what most of you are here for. If you have not signed in, I request you please come do that for us. And we're going to start. I know most of you are here probably about the proposed zoning ordinance. And some of you were at the county council or the county plan commission meeting the other night and about a week ago. And so I want to share an update first, and then we'll talk about how we're going to proceed with this, okay? At last week's Area Planning Commission meeting, the Versailles Town Council shared its support for the proposed ordinance regarding residential uses in commercial and mixed-use buildings within our business districts. We appreciate the residents and property owners who attended and provided feedback at that meeting and in the week since. We listened carefully to those comments and are actively working on modifications to address concerns while still achieving the ordinance's long-term goals. Based on feedback, we have proposed extending the 60-day vacancy to 6 months and removing the language about deeding or selling the property. Under the updated proposal, buildings can continue in their current use unless there is an extended vacancy of 6 months, even if the building is sold or deeded. Additionally, we have proposed that first floor residential uses be allowable in mixed-use buildings behind a street-facing storefront, so long as the residential units have side or rear entry and represent less than 70% of the first floor square footage and meet existing county zoning ordinances such as, or requirements, such as square footage and parking. We want to emphasize that this discussion is about the future of Versailles. Zoning ordinances are designed to shape planning and development for the next 10, 20, and even 50 years, and are in place to promote orderly growth, protect public health and safety, prevent conflicting land uses, and maintain local property values. New zoning ordinances are required as the world around us changes. Consider broadband, solar, and data centers that have only recently become issues to which the county has had to react. We are working to proactively address a situation we have seen growing in our surrounding communities to preserve our business districts for their intended purposes. This ordinance is not intended to displace anyone from their home. Existing residential uses in affected buildings can remain. No one is being asked to move. Instead, the goal is to preserve the first floors of commercial and mixed-use buildings for business purposes and transition storefronts that have been converted to residential back to business as opportunities arise. Again. Over the last decade, Versailles has made significant progress in revitalizing our downtown, attracting new businesses, restoring historic buildings, and growing tourism. We want to protect that momentum. Commercial storefronts are a limited resource, and once they are converted to long-term residential use, they are often unavailable for future business opportunities. Our local businesses are critical to the economic health of Versailles, especially as Versailles has a limited industrial tax base. We feel there are lots of local business opportunities as we continue building on our partnership with the Versailles State Park and positioning our community as a destination for visitors and outdoor enthusiasts. We also recognize that housing remains an important community need. Through our recently completed comprehensive plan, we are actively pursuing new housing opportunities and investing in water and sewer infrastructure to support future residential growth. We believe the solution to our housing needs is to create more housing in residential zones while preserving our business districts and buildings for their intended purpose. We are working to thoughtfully address the investments already made in our community while ensuring future generations have opportunities to start businesses, create jobs, and contribute to a thriving Versailles. We appreciate the public's engagement in this process and look forward to continuing the conversation as we work towards a solution that balances today's needs with the future of our community. And with that being said, in just a minute, we're going to open it up to public comments. But before we do, I kind of want to explain that we do have an ordinance that limits public comments on any one particular topic to 20 minutes at any meeting. And so I have 20 minutes to give to you. I think maybe 20 minutes, I should fit, no, let me finish, please. 20 minutes with 5 minutes maximum, that's what the ordinance says, 5 minutes maximum per speaker. So obviously, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, we got about 21 people in here, and we only have 20 minutes to work with it. So I'll ask who, if you'll raise your hand and tell me you want to speak, and then we'll just do a little division here and figure out how many minutes we can give you per person. All right, so if you want to speak, more than happy to have you. Just please raise your hand so I can count. Get them up high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 7. Am I missing anybody? You saw 7? Okay, so we'll give them 1 extra minute. Will that be okay? All right. So we're going to give you 3 minutes per person to speak. Just be ready. We'll start. Excuse me. Rodney, you had your hand up. Is that right? You're the first one I see, so we'll let you start.
You know,
Can you come to the X in the
If
center?
you will come to the X, that way we know
this is a lot better.
Right there, buddy.
Behind
Right
you.
behind you. Step back.
X. There's an X behind you.
Okay. There you go. We just want to make sure we can hear you. So go. You're ready.
Okay. Well, we came tonight. We were at the meeting the other night, and what was proposed was very harsh on the local people that have invested in this community, and very restrictive, and are we still are our heirs, or if we sell the property, is that still does it still stay the way it is, or?
We have made some changes to that. And I read those, and I'll be happy to share this with you after the meeting, so you can see that.
Oh, you already read that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
Okay, so really, the only thing I've got to say is zoning is a double-edged sword. Anyway, you use and it has its benefits, but I don't know that I don't really know that we need this ordinance, but I don't have all the information. So that's really about all I got to say right now. If I want to jump up, you know I'm crazy not to do it.
We only have 20 minutes. I'll remind you of that. All right, Sue, were you next? Okay.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research on this because that's what I do. And I do presentations, and so I copied it out for you so you can look at it later if you want. Jeff said I should memorize this. I can't memorize things. I can't do it. I can't hardly hear. I can't memorize. Anyway, kidding. I believe that the goal of this ordinance is to encourage a stronger downtown. I share that goal, and Jeff and I spent years and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars working towards that goal. Over the years, we restored 3 downtown buildings. We helped preserve downtown when the proposed jail was going to be located where the annex is. That was the hoop. We helped raise money for the decorative light street lights. We planted trees. We helped establish the first coffee shop, and Louise Mitchell owned the building. We started the farmers market. We organized the first stand on the square. I had to get my daughter to come down and help us because we had no volunteers. We were 1 day short of trying to save the Last Chance Hotel. We got a letter that Cook would help us, but they tore it down the day before. It was so sad. Okay. We also presently are helping with the music on the square and 5K and Home for the Holidays. That's why this ordinance is so hard for us to understand. The very property owners who have invested their savings, restored neglected buildings, accepted the financial risk, and how revitalize the downtown and not being asked to give up the flexibility that makes those investments financially possible. The flexibility allowed Rodney Sellers to keep his building occupied and maintained during the years when downtown was struggling, which, by the way, was caused by another town board who seemed to intentionally fight growth and for sales when they chased the kids off the square and pushed law enforcement toward the courthouse, the Palm Gardens, and the Legion. But now, when Rodney was asked to convert the building back to commercial, he willingly did so. That's called flexibility. We all want business downtown. The challenge isn't finding space for them. The challenge isn't finding space for them. The challenge is finding the people with the capital, the experience, and the business model to succeed in a community our size. We renovated the Green Church. We sat vacant for 8 months, despite professionally marketing it as a commercial space. And during that time, we had to pay the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance. And when we finally found a tenant, it came at a financial loss. We're not making payment on it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a new business. It was relocated from another building in town, which just means the vacancy shifted. The commercial demand is strong. This ordinance isn't needed because businesses will rent the space. If the demand is weak, this ordinance will simply leave the buildings vacant longer and create greater financial hardship for property owners. Research consistently shows that occupying zones
Your time is up. Thank you for your comments, but your 3 minutes are up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I have to try to down to 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Please
Appreciate that.
read the rest of it.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
We promise. We will read that.
Okay.
Okay, I think maybe Larry, were you next one? Who else had, anybody else right there? Anybody in the second row had your hand up? No. Third row? Who had your hand up?
Okay.
Okay,
Ex-Marshal Spot,
and your name?
Stephen Givern. Again, I don't know why you all think you can do this, dictate property, you take away people's property rights. You say potential commercial. You don't have anybody that's going to move in this commercial, but you're asking people to give up their rights, so you may find someone. Will you give up charging taxes on the property? Will you do that? Will you pay for what it costs to keep the building heated and all those things? That's the thing. You know, you want us to give, what are you giving back? If people could rent commercial, they would rent commercial. It's a lot better rent than residential. You'd be much better off to try to improve your residential up here instead of worrying about commercial. It's not going to happen. You got Amazon and everybody's online. Who's going to come put a little store? It's not going to happen. So you need to start to think about what you're trying to do, and you're going to make the property values go way down. And it's hard enough now to get loans on commercial property. It's going to be worse because you limit what people can do. And you say now you will punish us for if it's empty for 6 weeks, you'll give us 6 months. You don't have that right. If I want to take a year to fix a building, I want to take 2 years to fix a building. That's my right. It's my building. I pay the taxes. I bought the building. Did you give me any money to buy my building? No. That's the whole beauty of the United States of America. I don't know why you all want to go and become socialists, because that's exactly what you're doing. So we need to get it back to, you know, it's a people's building. I agree, you can't let a rug fall down and all that kind of stuff. That's an ordinance I understand. But to say what I can do with it, I can't rent it out when they've been doing it for years, makes no sense. And how do we know you won't change your mind later? You know, you say, oh, well, okay, well, let's just sell it and keep it that way. We don't want to start it. Once you start it, government has a bad habit of starting to just keep getting bigger and bigger. And if you don't see that in our federal, in our state, and even a lot of our local government, that's what's wrong. You don't give up rights. We're not going to give up those rights. So I hope you understand that. I mean, the lawsuit can come.
Thank you for your comments. Who else was it? Owen?
I just have a short comment to make about this whole crazy situation. other than being patchwork amongst the three towns, I thought the best comment made was what was written in the local paper today. And I'll go ahead and read it verbatim from the White Rabbit owner Nick Blackburn. He said, "To me, this is pretty simple. I think we're putting the cart before the horse a bit. I think the challenge facing our downtown isn't that we don't have enough commercial space. I think the demand for that space and opening the next business isn't there. And you can't legislate demand. I'd rather ask, how can we make someone excited about investing in Ripley County? How do we attract more visitors? How do we support the businesses already here so that they can grow? How do we encourage young entrepreneurs to take a chance in our downtown? How do we make it easier to renovate old buildings instead of more expensive? Those are the questions that create a thriving downtown." And I think his quote in a nutshell is incredibly correct, incredibly proper. And I think y'all really need to think about this before you proceed any further. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else, Jim?
Jim Bussey, I like the idea that, you want to do things and what goes to your head. But it needs, whether it's this board or the school board, this should be a vote. You decide you want to do this, we put it on the ballot like we're voting for the president. And if everybody agrees to it, then I live with it. If I don't like it, I leave the town. But as far as you saying that you want to promote business, I'll give you a prime example. I wanted to buy the Shell station, but I can't compete with government grant money that doesn't have any expense to you. So now I went and bought the property next to it. And the reason I haven't done anything with it yet is some crazy lady ran over me in December. So I've been in a hospital and not able to work on it. But this is not the real problem. If you're worried about the town, you better spend the money and make sure they don't drain the lake. Because if they drain the lake, it was built in 1954, 230 acres, you will have the largest infestation of mosquito, disease, and ticks. And have you ever stuck your foot in a pond, and you'll smell that smell, and you can't hardly wash it off? It'll be here for 20 years. There won't be anybody come around the square. They'll be there smacking mosquitoes. And then the first time we have a case of encephalitis or the tick disease that you can't eat meat, which my cousin just got, and he lives in Hayden, so it's coming our way, you'll destroy this town. Our property values will go ahead and half so bad. It's insane. But the thing of this, with the Shell station, I wanted to buy it. You guys bought it with government money, bulldozed it down, and there was nothing wrong with that property. You took away the tax base, you took away the tax revenue from sales, and you say you want to promote the business? What about the 20 acres or however 100 acres you bought down the road? The industrial park? I don't see anybody in there. And whoever is the right person that let the business come in there from Germany poured the foundation and left because he realized hotels is not worse. I was in Batesville today where Carl Chambers and Taco Bell were there. They went out of business. They just put a chicken place. I went there. They're just out of business. We have Pizza Hut. It's out of business. You got Alco down the road, out of business. These are big business piece of property. Nobody's begging to come to for sales because they see how bad it is. You people need to wake up. And I can tell you right now, it's not affecting me. It's out of principle. You don't have this right. This town will have a lawsuit that you can never imagine. And I got the paperwork right here, who to file with and everything. I'm not doing it because it doesn't really affect me. I'm only fighting for everybody else because you don't have that right. And we need to get with the state and have it so the school board, they're building a new building. We didn't get a vote on it. The excuse is, oh, you elected officials. We elected you guys, but you shouldn't have the right. So that's it.
Thank you. All right, was there anybody else on that side that needed to speak? Okay. Anybody here? Larry, do you have your hand up?
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
no, if we're about to stay here for 5 minutes, I can't stand it. I think that the ordinance you're working on here is a good idea. The town has shown such progress in the last 5 years. It's shocking what's happened in this town. And it's helping the values of all the properties in the town, not just the downtown area. What you're talking about is not a huge problem, and I understand the property on the corner here has been used as residential property. It's beautiful. It's been continuous. I'm sure it's not going to change. Good properties rent pretty easily. So that's not going to be a problem, I think, if you have a 6-month period. Hillsborough has this ordinance, Aurora has this ordinance, they've had it for years, so it's nothing new. It is constitutional, I believe, and I think it'll pass, and I recommend that you pass it. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Okay. Okay, I think there was at least one more over here that was going to speak. Is that right? How much time do we have left? Okay, yeah, one more. Did you have your hand up? Well, come on up, hon. Okay.
I'll try. I came because I
Will you
have
state
this
your name for us, please?
Betty Moody.
Thank you.
I live in Harvest Ridge.
Okay.
I have a large hole on my property. It's about 3 feet deep.
Mhm.
I've called the town 3 times to find out what they were gonna do about it. They came out and looked at it, said they would do something about it. But then I called the next time, they said they had to get a contract.
Mhm.
I've heard nothing about it.
Okay. Do you have anything, Betty, to talk about this ordinance, or is that just your
No,
concern?
Just my
Okay, just
concern.
if you'll wait just a minute, can I go ahead and answer her question there? I mean, this would be our 7th one to speak, so, all right. We are in the midst of getting the contract. We actually have the contractor secured. He just is swamped, and he's gonna be there soon, I promise you.
Oh,
It's not off the plate. I checked with Randall just again today when I was on the phone with him, and it's Mike Holman, and he's gonna come and he is gonna fix it. It's gonna be done soon.
familiar with it.
Yes, we've been familiar with it, so.
Okay, thank you.
We are working on it. It's just hard. All contractors, it seems, are just, they're all swamped. But we're on his list and he will be there very soon. Okay, we didn't forget about you.
Thank you.
All right. Was there anybody else? I'll let one more speak since she didn't have a question about that, if anybody's interested.
I didn't raise my hand, but I will if no one else is.
That would be our 7th one, so yes.
But I
if
want
you
to
want.
make sure that if somebody else raises their hand that wants to, like, so I did.
Okay.
I'm stepping back from your husband Gary. We own 2 homes in town. One of them is in the business overlay district. One of them is not. And I do understand a lot of the concerns that folks have been raised. I appreciate what you all have done to make some concessions to bridge the gap. From my husband and my standpoint, we have a home that we have recently opened as an Airbnb 2 months ago. And I will tell you that it's still really early in the journey, but it has been eye-opening to see where people come from to visit our town. I expected a lot of people to come to visit the park, but I will tell you that there are people that are coming here, I think, because we happen to have a place that overlooks the lake, and I think they're searching for those types of properties. And so, like, we've had people come from outside of Detroit, Michigan, twice now, to come for like a long weekend and things like that. But anyway, my point is that I think the businesses that have been rejuvenated on the square have been really helpful to the people that come and visit our home. You know, to be able to say that there's a coffee shop and that there's a restaurant and that there's the White Rabbit Lounge and all those types of places, a bookstore. You know, I think those are great things to be able to keep people in our community and spending dollars. So I appreciate what everybody does to kind of make all those efforts come together.
All right.
Thanks.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Do what? No, not right now. Okay, so, we're finished, is that right, Lynn? Okay, and we can move on. Yeah, okay. All right, we're gonna move on. Okay, we do appreciate your comments. I will, it is being recorded, so we'll go back and listen again to the comments and I promise you, we are listening and we will continue to do so. And, we hope that we will have, the ordinance tweaked a little bit more before we actually go back to the county with it. So thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. You're welcome to leave or you're welcome to hang out and hear what else goes on here in the town. So we'll leave it with that. And with that, I think we can just move on, can't we?
Yes, you need your.
All right. So, take care of, do we have any other public concerns? Anybody else that's here for any other reason? Be happy to hear those now.
Roger.
Roger, come on up, Roger.
So down to, I'm Roger with the Sales American Legion. I'd like permission to close Water Street down from Friday, the 24th at 3 o'clock to Saturday, the 25th till about 6 o'clock for Legion Fest.
Hold on.
There's no way this microphone's going to all this.
Folks, we need you to please be quiet because we are required to, record the conversations here. And I think we're having a little trouble with the microphone because of that. Roger, come on back up here, bud. Let's start that again, please.
Yeah, Roger with Versailles American Legion.
Yes.
I'd like to close Water Street down
Uh-huh.
from the 24th, about 3 o'clock. This
That's
month,
Friday.
25th, Saturday till about 6 o'clock for Legion Fest.
Next Friday.
It's next Friday. That way, guys will start bringing their stuff in, you know, and we got some big cookers coming in, so.
Can you give me those times again? Friday the 24th?
Friday the 24th at 3 in the afternoon
Okay,
until Saturday the 25th,
Uh-huh.
till about 6.
about 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Okay, very good. I got an issue with that, so maybe want to make a motion that we do that.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Will you check with Randall and make sure he gets those times and dates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you need barricades or
Yeah,
anything
if I
like
can
that?
give me, he knows where to drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's both things. All right,
Okay, all right, very good.
thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Anybody else? Yes, come on up.
My name is Quentin Leffel. I purchased some property down here. I believe the address is 428 North Washington Street.
Mm-hmm.
I have a modular home that I would like to bring in. And I've reached out via email.
Yes.
And I was looking to see if we could get some kind of an answer. I personally cannot find anything within the ordinance within the town that says we can't. But I really, without us having a building inspector in town, the lady behind the desk would rather have someone else's opinion on the matter, and she looked towards the town.
And I believe that was addressed, I think it was supposed to be addressed today at
Okay.
their, tech review
Okay.
committee, the meeting. Actually, the town, Quentin, we do not have, an ordinance that would not support that. We don't ban those or anything like that.
Okay.
But we don't make that decision. Okay,
Okay.
that decision's made at the county level.
Okay.
And so my recommendation would be call back to the building and planning office and ask them if they've got any reports out of that meeting I think that was held this afternoon.
Okay.
And so you can check in with them, okay?
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. All right. Anybody else with a concern? Yes, Stephanie?
I just wanted to follow up on Mr. Busse's comments about the lake, and I didn't know if you as a council have looked into that, if you're having conversations about that. I mean, we have a property, of course, directly impacted. So we're just curious.
Yes, we have had a little bit of conversation, mostly with the group that's gotten organized. We have not been, I won't call us really truly actively involved in that. We're on the fringe of it. We know that they're out there, trying to get people to get the city or the state to do something about the lake. Holly and I attended a watershed meeting several months ago, probably, what is this, July? Probably in March, maybe, down at Clifty Falls, and we did speak with DNR down there with a gentleman about the lake situation and how important it is to us. Right now, I think it's a financial thing, but I am hearing some rumblings. I probably need to call Candace Deline, I think that's the way you say her name. Probably need to call her again and get an update from her. Recently, I heard there was some talk that maybe the state was looking for some money. So we hope, that's kind of out of our control, though.
I do understand it's out of your control, I guess.
Yeah.
In my ideal world, that the town might formally consider engaging the state park property managers or state park up in Indianapolis to kind of help them understand the impact that drain really could have, on our community. I mean, I understand it's a financial implication for them to maintain it, or to fix it, but it's a I think a bigger financial implication for the town and our residents as long term.
Right. And we have had conversations with Garrett over that, in the past, and it's always kind of a wait and see kind of thing. So I will put that I'll put it on my to-do list, which is getting pretty long, but I will put it on the to-do list, and I'll check in with Candace, and I will check in with Garrett too and see what else, they can do and any recommendations they might have. And we have talked about a letter campaign, and we haven't moved forward with that, but I'll check with Candace on that, and see if we can help support that in any way too. So
I think that would be great. I mean, I don't know to what extent the decision really, I don't know what control Garrett even has over the situation, I guess. And so I'm wondering if, we as a community or anybody need to kind of go higher up in the food chain.
I think that's what's going to happen, because I don't think he's got enough, say, power, whatever it takes. So yeah, okay. We'll be in touch on that. Okay. Thank you.
Can I add a little bit piece to that?
Yeah, sure.
I spoke to Candace last week, and there is she has found another option opposed to dredging that is a lot more cost efficient.
Okay.
So I think there will probably be.
You think maybe things are moving. I need to talk to her. I haven't talked to her for a couple of weeks now, so I will do that though. And I'm going to write her name down so I know. So Candace. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
All right. That is it as far as our public comments. Again, we thank you. And Mel, we welcome you again. If you have anything you need to say or want
to say, just here to
listen.
serve.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to move on then. Let's see. We've taken care of all of that. Mr. Sharon tonight again. Did you hear from him?
I've had no contact with him since he sent the email saying that he was going to it was called away on a family emergency. He's out of country. So my assumption is he's still out.
Okay, so
When
no
was that?
contact.
He missed the June meeting because of that. And he was going to be gone for an
I think
extended.
he's missed April, May, and June, and now July. I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to move on
I
that.
think,
I'm not
yeah.
sure how, but if he's out of the country, it's not really something we probably can.
It looks like he's working on it though.
It does look like there's some work being done. Yes, there is. I can see.
So
that.
I will send him a reminder to
Yeah,
be here
just
for
if you
next
can,
month.
just give us a little update. That's what we need. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda items, and we have received reports. Meeting minutes first, right? A motion, everybody's gotten a copy of the minutes and so I have a motion to accept the minutes, approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes last month.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Let's go down. Sign.
You don't sign.
Yep, she went. Nope, you weren't here. All right, and then while Josh is signing, let's see, minutes. We did get a report from Versailles Fire Rescue. Ben couldn't be here tonight. He's actually out of training. And what else do I have on that? Oh, so I have his report. They had a busy month, 71 calls in June, which is pretty big. It's what happens all the time, it seems. Streets and utilities. I did check with Randall. I told him to go ahead and get a quote on the camera system at Sawmill. He had that in his report. And then he said the 2 valves that they found, that was another thing that stood out to me. And those are in Harvest Ridge, and they found them while they were drilling to put Access Airways Network in. And they're gonna check them and figure out where those lines are from and where they're going and everything else. So those were the 2 things on that one that I saw. Got its fill-in report from Joe, and I did get a little bit of an update on some of the nuisance properties. I haven't sent that out to you yet because I just got it finished up last night. So I'll get that to you so you can see. And then there were 2 things, I think, on the community development report, that I had of Holly's, 2 or 3 things. One of them was Riley Hape has agreed to look at that spot we've got in the AstroTurf. So hopefully he's going to get to that. She did mention they got the sunshade installed, and that was very nice for those of us who came to the July 4th celebration. Construction on Perry Street has kicked off. Things are going there. pretty well, I think. And we will be ineligible. It's kind of a situation that we really don't have a lot of control over. Because number one, community crossings, they have kind of changed and we can only apply one time a year. And we're going to miss that this year because we'll still have the open project because Perry Street's just drug on. But the good news is it's going. We really don't have anything that absolutely needs to be done next year. So I think we can hold until 2028. We'll be okay. I mean, we'll do some crack seal and maybe some money out of our own edit funds that we can, if we have a situation arise that we really feel like we need to do. Globe Asphalt has completed all the crack seal. And in fact, there was another group in here today, I think, doing a little bit of something like that. I did get a phone call from Representative Aaron Houchin about our community project funding grant, and we had applied for that for the sewer project. We have a rather major sewer project coming on. We did get $1 million from them, so we're excited about the $1 million, though we're a little disappointed because we wanted more. But in any case, so we are exploring right now, financing it through the state revolving fund. And that situation is such that we will not be able to actually apply for that probably until next year because we have to get the engineering work done first. And so Korean Associates is working on, or not Korean Associates anymore, it's Fleece Vandenbrink, and they're working on that, so we're okay on that. We will later on here have to do the procurement of these documents, right, the qualifications and stuff, because we have to do that for the SRF. I think that's maybe all on that one. Did you guys have any questions for Holly or anything there? All right, if not, I'm passing that on. All right, and then we've already run through the claims and things, right? So I'm going to accept it. I would like a motion then to accept the reports, the department reports, as well as the list of claims paid.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. I have a second.
Second.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Good job. All right, in old business. Put a check mark there because he's not here. Next on our agenda is the sewer project update. And as I just told you, we only got $1 million, only $1 million. $1 million's $1 million. It's a lot of money. We get that, but the sewer project's a big project. So we are reevaluating the priorities. I actually talked to somebody from IDEM today, and I'm trying to get them to come down and sit down with us. We think we know kind of what we need to do first before we do, but we want them to look at it too and give us their opinion before we do that. So hopefully that will happen. I did talk with Ross Hagan. You remember him from Baker Tilly, and we had a conversation last week, I guess it was last Thursday or Friday, and kind of talked about that very same thing. How do we prioritize things? Because, you know, we're not sure we want to bite the bullet for $8.3 million, or actually 7.3. So we'll see. We may be able to break part of it out and do another Okra grant. We only get it's a lot of money, $750,000 for it. But so we may do that. That's kind of where we stand on the sewer project. The water project, there's really nothing to report. We're just waiting on a reply from Okra, and that will not be until September. So we're just waiting on that. We have an application and hopefully we'll do well. All right, next on the old business is the residential rental registration requirements ordinance. And I believe this is the second reading of it, right?
I couldn't remember if you passed it on
We-
the first reading last time or not, but
Yeah, I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, we passed it.
and it's the same thing, just setting up a system to basically track the rentals in town.
And the one thing I think from last month that we made sure got changed was that there would be no registration fee for right now. There may, down the road, there probably will be. It'll be minimal, we promise. But right now, we're just trying to get numbers and stuff. So there's not going to be any kind of a fee. So
What's the purpose?
just to help us track, when we did the comprehensive plan, they came up with some numbers for us that, and they indicate that the number of owner homes and the number of rentals was pretty much kind of even 50-50, which is not the best place to be. Most communities strive to be at 70% home ownership versus 30% rentals. And we're not even close to that. So our goal is, number one, find out where our rentals are. And number two, we believe that we've got some rentals that are, maybe not quite up to standards they should be. And that will be something I think it'll come down the road. It's not in the plan yet. You know, we would just want to get numbers right now, Stephanie. That's what we're looking at.
So the registration will be up to the property owner?
It'll be up to the property owner, and we'll explain it in more detail, but basically they'll have until, once we pass it, they'll have until January 1 is our deadline. You have to come in and you have to register your rental properties. Like I said, no cost or anything, but you have to you have to register them. And then the other, I think, a critical piece is that when anything changes with your rental property, you get a new tenant, or you maybe decide to pull it away from rental, we need to know that within 30 days. What's going on, or your address changes, or your phone number changes, that, you know, you're kind of obligated, the owner of the property, the landlord has to keep us abreast of those kinds of things.
Don't you have that through the utility side anyway?
We have a lot of that information, but it's not all exactly accurate. We don't know who the rentals are, no. We really don't. I mean, because some of the landlords pay those water bills, we don't know who they are. Is that right, Sarah? You want to address that for me a little bit better than?
So if the landlord tells us that, like, hey, someone moved out, we know that, but sometimes people move out, just stop paying the bill, someone new moves in, like, we don't always have all the information. But then, like Roxanne said, there are owners who pay the water bill and their tenants just, they don't even pay the water bill. They either pay it through their rent, or I don't know how they handle with the tenant. So no, we don't always know that it's a rental or who's in it.
Yeah. So I think we know that there are rentals in town we don't know about. So we're just trying to get a little bit of a handle on that. So. Now, Lynn, is there anything else we need to do with that?
No, so you just need to, make a motion and a second to approve it on second reading, and
Okay.
then I need to publish it before it goes into effect.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to make that motion that we approve the rental registration policy.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. That does us. Okay. I don't think there's anything else on that part, so we'll move
Can I
on.
ask a question about that? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So for instance, I'll use a personal example.
Mhm.
If my parents own the home that I'm renting and it's duplex,
Uh-huh.
am I able to help assist? Do they have to come up here when that registration period is required, or?
You can I think you could come and get a paper from us and take it to them and have them fill it out. You can do the running back and forth for them.
Okay.
Sure, that'd be fine. That's no problem. That's not a problem. Any other questions about that? Okay, we're gonna move on. The ordinance, updating the zoning code. I think we kind of got some information there. I've read some information. We will have that. I might talk to Holly about having this posted maybe. I think we've got to double check on that number right there with Joe, because he's out of town now for a couple of days. So we're trying to finalize all of that, and we'll keep you abreast as best we can on all of that when it's getting ready to go to the county and everything. Okay? All right, next, I already addressed the Harvest ditch, that Mike Holman is going to work on that. It's just one of those things that he's just behind, and that's just the way that works. The firing range contract is still with them.
We started negotiations and I got called out of the office last week, so I do have scheduled a telephone conference with their council on Thursday to try to firm that up.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we want to get that firmed up too as soon as we can. Wastewater agreement so
we first needed to send them notice that their rates were increasing, so that was sent out certified mail along with requests to address some changes in the contract.
Okay.
I received a reply saying we will look at this internally and get back to you, and I've not heard anything since.
Okay. Has that been a few weeks then, probably?
It's probably been 2 weeks.
They tend to move kind of slowly. Okay, we'll just stay on that. And I know you've been busy. It's okay. I don't think we really do. We, Josh, have anything to report on trying to establish that park board again? I think we kind of decided last meeting we were going to do that. We need to move forward on that. And maybe you and I can get our heads together and let's talk. I actually made a list, I think, of what we talked about earlier. I don't know that I have it with me though, of who we wanted to be represented on that board. And and then maybe we can have something ready next month. That's our goal, because there is money out there and we're gonna go after it. So, we move as quickly as we can on it. Excuse me. All right, next on our agenda is the Ripon County Plan Commission interlocal agreement, and we did get the agreement, and I think you've seen it. We've sent it around. It is a way to support the Plan Commission and their decisions, financially support the Plan Commission. I don't think there's anything here that I have a problem with. Are you guys okay with that? Does somebody want to make? I know that our agreement, I'm trying to find the dollar amount. Do you have that? Our dollar amount would be this year $4,553. And we have already talked about that. We'll make sure that's in our budget for next year so we can continue to support that. So if somebody would like to make a motion to, we're adopting, what's terminology?
To approve the contract.
Approve it. Okay. To approve the contract here, then we can sign. But
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
all right, with the interlocal agreement. Okay, and a second, maybe.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm trying to find Versailles. I'm not seeing us. On the phone. It's got to be on here. Maybe it's on the very last page. It is right here. Almost last page.
Make sure you have one. There were two versions sent out, one with Sunman and one without Sunman.
Yeah, I think Sunman's in here.
Yeah,
I just printed it today because I saw it when you sent that last one. Oops, that's the wrong page. Sign there. All right, we're going to go ahead. What's today's date again? July 14th. And I will sign. I'm just going to send that one page, okay? And I'll get it right there. There you go. All right, great. That's taken care of. While she's signing, I did get a notice from HWC, or not, sorry, wrong one. They did our comprehensive plan. GRW, great, thank you. GRW is the engineering firm for Hoosier Hills Regional Water District. And we have been kind of back and forth with them, negotiating a little bit about selling some water to Canaan. This started a couple of months ago. They did do an engineering study, and they are confirming now that there's adequate source treatment, storage, and transmission capacity available within the existing Hoosier Hills Regional Water District system to deliver the current agreed daily volumes under normal operating conditions. And there was one other thing down in there about an interconnection, and I sent a message to Lori and said, does this mean this is all okay? And she said yes. Canaan has a request for somewhere between 30 and 50,000 gallons a day. And so it will run through our lines. So I think, Lynn, the next step now is probably a cost of service study.
Right, a cost of service study, yes. And
okay.
Figure out the rates. And
yeah. Do you want to make that contact with Baker Tilly again? Or
I can do that, sure.
Okay, all right, thank you. So that'll get that moving. Yeah, that's where we are. I think that's our next step. And then I believe, doesn't Canaan also have to do that maybe? A cost of service or something, don't they? I think they'll have to raise their rates probably because
they may need to, but yeah. So
but we need to. Yeah, that's on their
end.
Yeah, that's on their end, not ours.
So I think the key is we need to do the cost of service study first, and then we have to be able to reach a contract with them.
Okay.
Well,
okay. So. Okay. Great. So we'll get Baker Tilly moving on that for us, and that will be that. All right, now. All right, the project. These are the wastewater sewer project. We had to do some statements of qualification as required by the State Revolving Fund, the SRF, which is probably where we're going to finance this. And so we have them, and we need to open them. Do you want to start? I'll let you open one. Here, pass one down to Josh. You do one, you'll do one, I'll do one. We don't really have to act on these, we just have to take them under advisement. So we'll start with that one. And that one is Lock. How do you say that? Lock Mueller. Yeah, and it's just information. These statements of qualification, these particular engineering firms are qualified to be able to provide this if you so need.
And so I can show you that they're,
Yeah.
they're approved.
Yeah, thank you. Sure. And that one is from
Shrewsbury, is that right?
Shrewsbury. I'm
Saying it right?
I've not seen it. Yep, looks like it's Shrewsbury. Where are they from? I wonder.
Indianapolis.
Where are you guys located now? Main office.
Okay, we have two main, we are out of Indian Evansville, our two main offices, but we
Okay.
are all over the state of Indiana.
Okay.
Our closest office that I come from is Jeffersonville. Indiana.
Jeffersonville.
So
Okay.
our office where we will, if we were selected, would be servicing you, would be from Jeffersonville.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
With all our team.
All right. Thank you. And I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing that off the top of my head. Not real fast. Oh, you got an address here. Very good. Smart move. Indianapolis. Okay. And then, what's that?
Josh is the one who,
Okay.
found it.
All right, and then Fleece Vandenbrink, and we are working with Fleece Vandenbrink right now, and they, their main office is, in Danville, Indiana, and, Lori Young is, one of the main people that we work with now, so we've got them too, so. All right, I don't think we need to do anything more than be aware that these three have submitted the, statement of qualification. So, I'm going to check mark there. Ooh, are you taking them under advisement? Oh, yeah, I'll probably need a motion to do that, don't we? Yeah, okay. Okay, I will make that motion that we take these under advisement and review them and, you know, at some point we'll make a decision on them, but not now.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Lynn, for helping me. I'm what I do without her. All right, last one in our old business is the quote from the park, from Pangburn Park, and that was a quote for a new camera system there. The total was $4,509.99, and we tabled that last month. And we tabled it because I wanted Sarah to have some time to look and make sure that there was money in the park budget, that maybe we could do it now. And she assures me we can. I will tell you, I was up there again this week. No, this is only Tuesday. It was last week. And we've had some problems again. They moved the big picnic table, the handicap one. Somebody stood on the end of it and broke it back down. So it's hanging. Randall's going to try to straighten it, but he's afraid that it's probably going to bust the, it's kind of a, I don't know what you call that, a little web kind of metal, and he's afraid that's going to break that. I've asked him to bolt down the other picnic tables there, and if he gets that one fixed, to bolt it down so they can't move it. They have already broken the brand new rims that Main Street just bought and put up. Backboards are in great shape. They haven't been able to vandalize them yet. Hopefully they don't. But trash cans have to be replaced. There's 5 of those there that have to be replaced. I did price them on Barcode. They were, I don't remember what they were. They were like maybe $400 a piece or something. They were terribly expensive. I think it was about $2,500, maybe $500 or $600 a piece. So there are several things that we need to get done there, but I think we need to stop the vandalism before we do anything. So I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead, move forward with the quote from Randall Benjamin and have that. He does all of our camera systems, and so I'm going to make a motion that we have him move forward with this one, this quote. I'll second. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to give you that. Okay. And then we'll get a hold of him. All right. New business. My agenda says the health department community baby shower and office aid.
The director of the health department sent an email requesting that they close the street between the courthouse and the annex for the community baby shower on August 8th.
Okay.
She did not give me times.
No times or anything. It's probably, I don't know. What day is August 8th? What day of the month? If you want to try to text her and see if she knows.
It's Saturday.
It's a Saturday, so who knows what time, but yeah, maybe we need, because we could move on and maybe see if she.
I don't have her text.
No, okay, well, that won't work. So
Why don't you approve it subject to the times being approved by Sarah?
I mean, I don't think it's very well conscious. She may be planning it during the market time too. So, and what street does she want? First North? Okay, First North. All right, somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye, that's all of us. All right, we can do that. Quentin's already been here, and I've already explained to him that that's a county decision, not ours, so I'll check that one off too. Lifetime Resources has sent us a request for a donation. Lifetime is the, I hesitate to call it senior because it's not always seniors that are helped. The one thing I think that the great service that they provide for us here is transportation service with Catch a Ride. And I think a lot of our senior citizens here in town depend upon it, as well as handicapped people and others disabled. And people just don't have cars. They want to go to Walmart or they want to go wherever they want to go. And so they do provide that service. We did start, was that last year we started that community, what was that called again, the fund?
Community outreach.
Community outreach funds. We do have some funds available, and I'm going to make a recommendation that we give them $250, unless one of you guys think we should give them more or less. You good? You want a second?
I'll second.
All right, Renee seconds it. Everybody in favor? Aye. Good. By the way, I did see they served 814 different residents last year, so I thought that was pretty good, for a little town. Next on the list is Taylor Cole's request, and she, if we have questions, I can call her. Yep, there it is. She and her husband, Chris, lost their little baby last year, Harper Quinn, and so they're having a fundraiser to raise money. They have established a nonprofit organization, and they are giving away scholarships to the seniors in high school that are going into the medical field. And so she's requested, the date is August 1st. It is at Pangburn Park. That's where it's planned, and hopefully the tables will be rolled down by then. A fundraiser there, and there are several things they're doing. She asked if they could bring in the Kona ice truck, and I said sure, as long as I park it over there on the parking lot. I don't want it parked on the street. I think there's too much traffic there. So anyway, it's kind of, I don't know what else. They're doing a raffle. They'll have face painting, pizza, free will donations for their haircuts, and all kinds of things there. So anybody want to make a motion to allow her to do that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor? Aye. And Lynn, so this is your mobile phones. So this is a new ordinance. I don't think this has been before you guys before. This is an ordinance regulating mobile homes and manufactured homes in town. And what it does essentially, and this is patterned after Osgood's ordinance, which it's been on the books for a while, so it's not something that we just came up with. But what it does is it's establishing certain criteria. So just to kind of give a little bit of background, when it comes to like mobile home parks, those are governed by the state, the Department of Health, and then there's going to be some mobile home issues, manufactured home issues that are governed by the county. And then what this does though is it sets just certain criteria as far as like anchoring systems, skirting, foundations, that type of thing. Requirements to make it so that it fits in with the community, so it doesn't look like somebody stuck a trailer in the middle of town. But it does, I think it's important to note, it does allow that. It just regulates where, how they work. Sure. Yeah. So I don't know if you want time to look through this, or if you have, if you want to. I have, but I want more time. I want to, I kind of want to think, and you had mentioned, maybe we should instead look at some other avenues. Right, depending upon, So I think we should, table it. I don't want to. And it might be something that maybe we need an executive session just to go through. Okay. Just how different things interplay with the county, state, all of that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, because I know, I had some questions about modular homes and how do they fit in, or do they fit in? And this would, so it's mobile and manufactured homes. So I know, but there's a little difference there I'm finding out after doing, what Quentin was asking for. Okay. And I had done a little looking, and then there's a little bit of gray, I think. Okay. Manufactured versus yeah, manufactured, there's a difference between a manufactured home, which is built on a metal frame, and what I'm understanding is a modular home is built on a wood frame. But modulars typically are not moved. They're set up as a permanent structure. I don't know. But anyway.
Okay, so
I think,
maybe we
yes.
can have an executive session.
Can we do that
to
maybe
consult with
before?
council.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to be here at the August meeting. No, I'm going to be gone. So maybe we'll look at it. You guys can do it. I can send you my thoughts. Do you want to do an executive session and talk it through?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'll try to get that ready
So
and don't let me
table that.
forget. We'll table it till next month. Is that okay? Or you
Yeah,
want to table it till September? It's not like it's a rush item.
Table
Table it till September.
And it might be that this doesn't fit
it. I'd rather all of us be here.
Yeah, it might not. I mean, but if you guys will, please look at it and take a highlighter or write your thoughts down and then we'll try to meet and kind of discuss if it's something we want to move forward with. But we'll do that in September instead. Okay, great. Well, last item on our list is the Tyson Fund request. And this application for the Tyson Fund is not due until the 24th, but Holly's going to be gone next week. Okay, so we need to kind of nail it down. Yes, I did make copies. Pass those down. I've got one for you too. One for Josh. At the top, and this was
You need
after. You got one. Okay, you're okay.
And they'll get nothing.
Yeah, Josh can share. You're not on the list, Lynn. Okay, so there are some things that we always traditionally we ask for, and it's not necessarily the entire payment, but it's part of the payment at least of the water bond. This time it's numbers 10 and 11 out of 20 payments, so we're halfway home, and we've got one more payment on that dump truck that they helped us buy 2 years ago. This is our third year, or actually be 3 years ago that we bought it. Emergency sewer repairs, we kind of just back and forth on that one, but decided, we don't have anything set up for SRF or any of that yet. No actual funding source, and that fund was extremely critically low. And so, we haven't even collected the first time yet. We have the new rates.
The new bills will go out at the end of this month and be
Yeah.
payable next
Be
month.
payable next month. So we're going to go ahead and ask for that again, just to make sure we're on the safe side. And then Randall got a quote for the last 265 water meters. And that will finish that project that started about 3 years ago, maybe. It initially started, I think, 3 years ago. And we'll get those all finished up. Hopefully, they'll be able to fund that. We are asking for some money for the town hall facade. We've been in the building 6 years, I think, maybe 7. And this was a former Dr. Bob's office over here. Has it been that long? 8 or 9?
I think.
Okay, well, time flies when I'm having fun.
But I think it was 2018.
Okay, you weren't here. Okay, anyway, this was a lawyer's office, and that part over there was the doctor's office, and we bought the building, and we found funds to be able to, kind of gut it out and build the space we needed, but we're still not, we feel like we need to beef up the front of the building. The paint has stained the brick and all of that stuff. So we're asking the Tyson Fund, because that's one of those things that it's either got to come out of a capital projects fund, which we're going to try to establish. I need to talk to you maybe late after the meeting about that, because that was one of the recommendations. I sat in on a budget meeting here a month or so ago, and if I heard that capital projects fund, you need a capital projects fund once, I heard it about 15 times during that 2.5-hour presentation. So that's on the list. Randall needs a mulcher, and that's a mulcher that he would just, I think the way I understand it, he would literally drive it over that big pile he's got down there. He said that pile is as big as his room. And he's only been collecting that since, March, April. So I know that's his top priority on equipment. We also then, here's the deal, you can see that number 499. We need to knock at least 25 off of it, if not 50 off of it. So we need to decide between 21,000 on the concrete floor or 35, or of 35 to 55. We need a new pickup truck. I have talked to Randall about trying to find a nice used one, simply because we don't drive it hard. just in town. But right now, he's been using, remember, we took the old police truck and stripped it down, and the street department's been using that, but they put a lot of money in it, right? The last year, there's been thousands of dollars in repairs. And so I think we need to move on and get something else.
What did you
So-
say, 50,000?
Well, he got me two different quotes for 55 on brand new ones. One was a Chevy and one was a Ram. I think the Ram was 55 and the Chevy was maybe about 52 or maybe 51. But I'm wondering about buying a good used one.
But what do you want to knock off? How much? Off?
What we need to knock off, probably 25 to 30 be good. And we could take parts of both. We don't want to ask for everything on.
Can we rent a mulcher when we need it instead of buying one?
He's probably gonna need it
all the time.
all the time. That's the problem, Josh. They pick up limbs every week. People have limbs and stuff out. They're picking them up. I was thinking maybe I could send somebody a note and ask how much you would contribute to that, but in any case, and we could ask for part of it. We just have to figure out, now that's kind of a street department thing, and that's kind of nifty, isn't it? To fund. I mean, mulcher is, not necessarily street. Yeah, it would. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I'll tell you what, think on it and tell me what, I just want an answer from you. What's today, Tuesday? By Monday, okay? What you think. And we can knock part of those things at the bottom off. We can knock all of one. I will tell you, we already had gotten 25,000 from Tyson last year for the concrete floor in the barn. And so if I remember right, that $45,000 quote, now I would have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that was a quote for the entire floor. And remember, we did one end of that building. We already did the concrete down there because of storing all those Christmas decorations. So I'm hoping, I asked Randall to get me another quote. He doesn't have it to me yet. So as soon as I'll bug him tomorrow about that again, and then I'll get that to you guys as soon as we can, but I think we got to knock some money off of that, at least 25,000 off of it somehow. And if we want to go part of two things, I think we can do that. Can't we? What if we did half on the truck? What if we did like 20 on the truck? Would we be able to hijack 20 from maybe the water or sewer account, or 10 from each? I know she always does that to me. I don't know.
What about that account that you found?
We've used most of that for Perry Street and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not saying we can't find it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. there's
well,
a lot
maybe
of
we need to
things
do
up
that
in
and
here right now.
not do the concrete. I mean, they've done without concrete. It's gravel floor. It can go one more year.
Well, I put a start by.
Yeah.
You put a star by which one? The concrete?
Concrete seems the least
Okay.
urgent.
The least urgent. Is that what you're saying, Josh?
Yeah.
Move it to the bottom of the list?
Yeah.
All right. You both in agreement on that? I'll go along with you there. Okay. So that, like I said, that application's due next week, and we just have to get the numbers together, and then we'll do a little explaining why we're asking for why we're asking. And then they'll make their decisions. They'll make their decisions sometime in August, and then, of course, September 14th is Jim Tyson's birthday, and we will probably be at the church again. That's what they've been doing the last few years, and I would hope everybody could be there, anybody that can, because I think it's important that we show our appreciation. I will try to get numbers for next month to tell you the kinds of, the amount of money. It's over, I think it's around almost 5 million, maybe in the last 8, 9, 10 years that we've gotten from them. We've gotten a lot of money from them, so they have been very helpful and always are. And of course, but that's the way that goes. So, all right, so we'll get that finished up. I will not be at next month's board meeting. I'm going to take a vacation. So,
Who's the
Josh,
vice
I
president?
believe
Who's the vice president?
I don't know, but it's you.
Oh, it's me.
Right. Help you get it going, but I'm going to be gone. So
We just,
yeah.
just make sure you have a short agenda.
Make sure we have a short agenda. This one was kind of long, but look at the time. We've done really well with it, haven't we? I think we've done well with it. We just have every month I say, next month will be better. I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's all good stuff. What's that?
This is better than the last several.
Yeah, we just have a lot that we're trying to do, and it's all good stuff. But it takes time and it takes decision making. So, all right. Anything else for the good of the group? Lynn, anything?
Nothing on my
No.
part.
Josh?
Nope.
Renee? Sarah?
Yes,
Oh, Sarah.
mine's quick and easy. I have a customer requesting a sewer adjustment. They had a service line break. We caught it pretty quick, but their bill still went really high.
Okay.
So the credit for them would be $248.80, and that is just 1 month.
Wow.
Yeah. They
And
used
that's
to
for the water, right? That
That's
did
a
not go
sewer.
down. I know, but
The
didn't go down the sewer because of the sewer break.
Correct.
So we're adjusting, so they're not paying for that. They're not paying the sewer part of their water bill, of the bill, right? Okay. I'll make a motion to adjust. I mean, if you think it's legitimate, so I'm gonna trust you on that. So I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we'll make that adjustment. Customer? All right. Anything else? All right. I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn the meeting at
Here's-
8:12 PM. I stole it from you. Well, you can say.
No, him.
There you
I'll
go.
second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. Yeah,
Well done.
goodness, I was busy. That moved pretty quickly, didn't it? Hi there, how are you? I thought I recognized you. I kept saying, how are you? Yes, I know, we've met, I think.